Hello and welcome to the channel. We got another Xbox news for y'all today. Now, when it comes to the ABK deal, I feel like this thing needs to either go through or get squashed because now both companies are not putting out anything for us to see. Sony was actually withholding all their state of play because they don't want to give Microsoft anything at all. And Sony is totally against the whole deal. They don't want the 10-year deal. They don't want anything. They just want the deal to be canceled and dead. They don't want anything to do with it. Now, I do believe that this deal will go through, especially since Microsoft has a lot of money. They do. They have trillions of dollars. So anytime money gets involved, people can be persuaded. Politicians can be persuaded. Different divisions of the government can be persuaded with a lot of cash. Because we all know certain politicians are corrupt as hell. And I feel like this whole drama is just a dog and pony show, to be honest. It's just a show that they're putting up in front of us because at the end of the day, I think this deal will go through. Now, the fact that Microsoft is also pulled up this amazing strategy, give everybody 10-year deals. They given Nintendo a 10-year deal, so Nintendo is getting Call of Duty once this deal goes through. They gave Steam the same deal, and I'm assuming Epic got the same deal as well too. And then you have there's this other new streaming platform, Uburst 2 or whatever, I can't say the name, but they're also getting that 10-year deal as well too. Now, Sony's back is pushed against the wall. So now we'll see what's going to happen. So this is an article from Tom Warren, and this is from the UK regulations, and the UK looks like they're coming around. Before, it seems like they were not going to let this thing go through, but now they're coming around. So this is from the Verge. CMA softens concerns over Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal. The UK's Competition and Market Authority, CMA, has provisionally concluded that Microsoft's proposed Activision Blizzard deal will not result in substantial lessening of competition in console gaming services because the cost to Microsoft of withholding Call of Duty from PlayStation would outweigh any gains taking actions or such actions. The CMA still has concern around the cloud gaming markets, but a key issue over Call of Duty has now been addressed. And that's not the only games that Microsoft is going after. Microsoft essentially is trying to acquire Activision for their mobile division. You know, if you don't know anything about mobile, it's pretty huge for Activision because even though they got that crappy Call of Duty game on mobile phones, that game was raking in billions of dollars over those microtransactions. So it makes sense. And Blizzard also has IPs that Microsoft would want to get their hands on as well too. So this is a great opportunity for Microsoft. I do believe this deal will go through. It's just a matter of time. And Sony is either going to have to sign the 10-year or they're going to be left out in the cold. But we can see why Sony's concerns are, and it's completely understandable, especially with how big Microsoft is. Even though Sony is leading the market now in the in the game, when it relates to games, Sony is like on top of it. They got bangers after bangers after bangers. Like even the start of the PlayStation 5, bangers, nothing but bangers. I'm sorry, but there hasn't been anything on the Xbox side. So let's be honest. Let's be completely honest. Xbox has not shown the games on the Series X. Just like the last gen, there was barely any games, and that's what sells consoles. Halo was, it was okay. Honestly, I didn't play it, so, that's that. Having considered additional evidence provided, we have now provisionally concluded that the merger will not result in substantial lessening of competition in console services because blah, blah, blah. That's the one I've already read to you. CMA had originally provisionally concluded that Microsoft's strategy to withhold Call of Duty from PlayStation would be profitable. I don't know. The huge thing for Sony is they feel like they're gonna get the lesser version of the game, and that's a concern for them. obviously Microsoft would be incentivized to make their version the best with a lot more features or whatever. But, you know, we'll see. And Sony is saying that Microsoft might sabotage their game, which is possible, but who really knows? You know? So I'm curious to see how everything turns out. And I do believe that this deal will go through, the merger will go through, and Microsoft will acquire Activision Blizzard. And we'll see whether, Call of Duty will be in Game Pass or will they be charging for it. Because if you have Call of Duty on Game Pass, Sony might lose some of those sales because you can just go to PC. If you have a PC, you can just download the game for free on PC as well as on your Xbox or any Xbox per se. So I can see Sony's concern, but Sony has a ton of studios. They make amazing games. I don't know why they can't just, have one of the developers come up with a Call of Duty of their own, another shooter of their own that they can be competitive with COD. I don't know why. They have money too. They can invest some of that cash to develop their own Call of Duty competition. We need some more competition. Not that we have a lot of shooters out there, but anyway, you guys let me know what you guys think about this situation. It seems like Microsoft is on their way to acquiring that Activision Blizzard, so then we can go back to how we used to have more information, so Microsoft can put out all these different showcases to show us their games, and Sony can continue to show us their games as well too, because so far we haven't seen a lot of those because Sony doesn't want to give Microsoft any information at all on what they have coming or whatever that Microsoft can use. So Sony does not want to shoot itself in the foot, so it kind of makes sense. But anyway, as always, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.